Hi, this is Stella from Chasing Waters, back with another video. In this video, I'm actually finishing off the painting from my last video, so if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it down below and also in the corner of this video. I'm a master at failing, and I think that's been a thing that has pushed me forward. The big thing about failing is the idea of failing in front of people, because no one really cares if you fail at home by yourself. You care when others see you fail, but a big part of failing is putting yourself out there. I believe you find true freedom when you stop being scared to fail. Think about it. How many people haven't started something because they were scared to be bad at it? It's interesting how when we're kids, we just go for it. We haven't yet been fed all these limiting beliefs of fears yet. We just go for it with a strong will. We see what could happen if we succeed, rather than what could happen if we fail. We see the possibilities rather than the restrictions. I think it's important to come back to this type of innocence, of naivety, because our limiting beliefs often stop us even from taking the first step forward. Not to sound like a typical cliché quote, but what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? As we get older, we're told that failing is bad. When you get a test back and you got it wrong, you are shamed for getting the wrong answer. You are taught that failing is bad and should be avoided at all costs. You should just get it straight away. And so it goes. We are repeatedly told the same thing about failure. And in the end, we just stop trying. When we repeatedly choose comfort instead of failure, our perception of failure becomes more intense. Even the tiniest error could provoke a huge sense of embarrassment, a feeling of shame. When we are used to going for bigger goals, and it might not work out, it doesn't seem too bad. Seems like an almost unnoticeable bump in the road, rather than a full blockade. A myth about failure is also that everybody's watching carefully, waiting to see your next step, to see if you stumble or if you keep going. But the truth is, most people are in their own heads about their own problems. And people are not really as fixated as you think. When you realize this, it's easier to go further with confidence. Because even though you're the main character of your own story, the protagonist of your own journey, you're usually just a side character in someone else's. You might show up 5 minutes in a couple of episodes every season, but not enough to make a significant impression. When you start to understand that behind every failure lays a lesson, that's when you almost start to welcome the failures. Every time I tried something that I didn't end up liking, I didn't think to myself that it was a waste of time. I thought that I was one step closer to myself and knowing what I like. No matter what, a failed experience is an experience to be learned from. I've had countless of jobs in different industries, and even though I didn't stay at any of those, they highlighted exactly what I liked about certain things and what I didn't like at all. If there is a specific lesson you learned from failing, then please let me know down below. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe for future videos. Have you heard the phrase, all roads lead to Rome? Well, sometimes you end up taking the longest road to get to the goal. And many times you get stuck. If there's a river in front of you, and you have to cross it, you would either need to learn to swim or create a boat to get over it. It's not going to help to do the same things you've done previously, the same things that help you get to this point. You need to gather new skills and new ways of doing things. You're constantly faced with the need to get creative and problem solving. If one thing has worked for you until now, it doesn't mean that it will continue to work for you in the future. And realizing that, and not taking it as a failure, but rather as a way to keep evolving and learning. Failure is about removing the rigidness and stubbornness of the process, of seeing possibilities in stagnation, of opening up your eyes to new possibilities. And to do that, you have to try and fail. And sometimes you need to fail 20 times or thousands of times to finally find the right formula. I heard one day that failure is the discovery of what didn't work. And we should look at it from the same mindset. It shouldn't have this negative connotation that it's famous for. It should be something to be celebrated, because we are now one action wiser, one experience wiser. The notion that it's too late to start something baffles me, because it's only based on the societal standards of what we heard from friends or family, with the media, based on what they heard from their friends or family or the media or society. In the end, it becomes a fairy tale. A tale told 1,000 times doesn't make it true. But believing that it's true and not questioning it will take you away from the actual facts. No matter what you failed at, there should be something you could take from it every time. Even if you only learned what you shouldn't do anymore. Maybe you don't have the answer to what should be done, but knowing what doesn't work is just a step closer to finding the solution. If you made it all the way to the end, I want to thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more videos in the future, and I hope to see you next time.